Hello, my name is Lisa. I'm a serving police officer with a small force. Have been for 28 years, joined at 19. I've been off sick since December this year with depression and anxiety. And this is the second time that I've had a breakdown. 2 years ago I was off for 6 months as well. I wanted to say during Mental Health Awareness Week that it's all right not to be all right. I suffer on a daily basis. I'm getting some help through a local, well, not a local charity, I'm talking rubbish, a charity, Save Our Soldier. But my force have done very little, but then I could argue, what would I expect them to do? I can tell you the facts, and that's probably best where I leave it. I was off sick 3 months before the welfare department contacted me regarding my depression and anxiety. I was sent very quickly to the occupational health nurse within a week of reporting sick with depression. I sat and cried and shook for 45-50 minutes, answering all the questions that the force were asking. When would I be back to work? When would I be fit for work? Did my depression meet the equality standards? And I've been backwards and forwards through the occupational health nurse probably 3 times in the last 5 months. I've also been called to a case conference at work where I was represented by the Federation. That was very difficult. Entering a police building made me tearful and anxious before I even got inside. The Fed rep sat me in the canteen and wanted to have a chat, but no sooner were we sat there than I was crying again. And of course there are lots of other officers around, and it was quite uncomfortable, and I felt ashamed. And then we went upstairs to the case conference. There was my boss, there was somebody from Human Resources, and there was the welfare chap. And for 45 minutes they sat and asked me questions, and I cried the entire time. The upshot was they decided that perhaps they should refer me to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but they weren't sure which, and they left it at that. I did make clear during the case conference how difficult I found phone calls. I get very anxious and have panic attacks if I have to speak to people on the phone. Don't ask me why, but it's part of my illness. So I said to them that I find it very difficult, and I think I made it very clear, even though I was snotty and doing lots of that. And I had an email the next day with a phone number and the name of a psychologist, and a suggestion that I make myself an appointment, which I just thought encapsulated the whole thing. I could talk quite a bit about my mental health, and I'm quite willing to, but I'm conscious that these videos don't upload very easily, and I'm conscious that people probably aren't too interested in my ramblings. But just let me finish by saying, if you're suffering, talk to somebody. Just tell somebody the pain you're feeling. And if you're struggling on a day-to-day basis, just know that at some point you will stop being able to mask your pain. You won't always be able to keep the camouflage up, and something will snap at some point. So be prepared for it, because mental health is something you cannot ignore. It's very important, and I'm really, really chuffed that nationally we're now talking about mental health. But from me, here's to Mental Health Awareness Week, and a big thank you to my Twitter friends, and especially one special friend, you know who you are, without whom, gonna cry, I probably wouldn't be where I am at the moment. Thank you. Take care. Bye.